We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cùng đến đại đức tận tình, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye A La Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Đa Đắc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đế Tam Hiệu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jie wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jie wen de shou qi Yuan Jie Ru Lai Zhe Shi Yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Huineng, Great Master YongHua, all monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Lục Tổ, Hòa Thượng Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, Liêu Chủ, Sư Phụ Sang Rần,各位出家人，各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, today is the, what day is today? The 8th? The 9th already? A third of July has gone by. Oh, this is scary. I thought I'd live forever. Oh, half a year is gone already. This is scary. Well, 2022, thank you all for coming to our 6th Patriarch Sutra explanation. Glad to have you here. First of all, I think it's important to remember a couple of things. First of all, I'm grateful for your presence and your participation, because of you that we're able to share and explore this Mahayana Dharma, okay? And that's how it works. You have to come, otherwise there's no reason for me to speak Dharma at all. In fact, as a matter of fact, last night when I was teaching the Chan class during a Dharma talk, we ran out of things to talk about, so we figured we went back to the Patriarch's teachings and see what we can learn from these great sages. Let me assure you, that's something that we translated some time ago, Master Wei Yang's anecdotes, what he did to teach his pupils. Yes, last night was an anecdote of Wei Shan and Yang Shan. Yangshan is way up there. So what were we doing? What do you think? What do you think we were doing? Discussing things that are way beyond our range. That's my reaction. When I prepared for it, a few weeks ago, I said, what are we doing? What am I getting into here? And I have no clues at how I would explain it to you. I'm honest with you. I looked at twice, 2 different occasions. I said, how am I going to explain this? What the great sages, what they're telling each other. Chinese sages, for that matter of fact, they're not even American. Okay? So, but last night, somehow we shot the breeze through it all. And it only happened because of you. Some people there, I look at their faces, these poor people. I better say something to make them feel better about how inferior they are. So anyway, so the point here is that the teaching is is only in response to you, no one else. Okay? So the more challenged you are, and the more difficult, the more advanced the teaching is. So it's a pleasure to be able to share it with you today. Okay? And don't worry, especially the 2 old ladies sitting there in the back. Don't cry. Okay. You cry too soon. Wait until it hurts. It's called anticipatory crying. That's illegal. So just listen. And if you understand, fine. You don't understand, it's okay too. Don't say, what am I doing here? No. It enters through your ears and goes to your consciousness. And the seeds there will sprout in the future. Will be good in the future. So don't worry about understanding, just listen. You want to ask questions. Okay? That's how it works. There's too much emphasis on understanding. That's a worldly Dharma. In Buddhism, we plant the seeds. It's like we plant the seeds, and then in the future, the rice will grow. All right. But going back to the concept here, because you being here, and that's why we can explain it to you in English, and then have it translated into your languages. And that, in a way, actually, you are yourself, with your presence, are contributing to the expounding of the Dharma into your own languages. Okay, and so you are, in other words, creating a lot of blessings for yourself. Okay, and you're doing a ton of good, a lot more than you imagine. Okay. All right, so we are on slide 100. We're talking about prajna. So prajna, or the kind of wisdom of enlightened people. Okay, so he's trying to explain to us what this prajna thing here is, that we all possess already. Text: use your own true suchness nature, and by a means of wisdom, contemplate and illuminate all dharmas without grasping or rejecting them. That is to see one's own nature and realize the Buddha way.
用自真如性以智慧观照，于一切法不取不舍，即是见性成佛道。
Okay, commentary on 101. Okay, remember, a lot of these things, I cannot explain everything to you because it's not enough time, and sometimes because of your different levels. See, some of you have ankles, some of you don't have ankles. So we cannot accommodate everyone, okay? Possibly, so it's very general, and therefore, just listen, and that's good enough. Don't try to understand too much. You understand, fine. You don't understand, it's even better. Okay, That's the magic of the Buddhist teaching. Okay, so he's talking about here. Use your own true sense of nature. This refers the true suchness nature is your Buddha nature. True suchness is another word, another name, another term for the Buddha nature. Why is it called true suchness? It's because it's true. Your nature is totally true. It's devoid of any falsehood. It's incapable of lying. It's incapable of deceit. It cannot fool anyone. Your nature itself, okay, is true. And suchness, meaning that it is the way it is. There's no reason needed for it. Okay? You don't have to explain why it's that way. True suchness is that the way you are is true. No rhyme or reason. That's how you fundamentally are. You're true, and you are that way since forever. And will always be that way, no matter what. Whether there's you poor, whether you're rich, you are that way. You're true, and your nature is true. Okay, so you use your own truth's nature, and by means of wisdom, and by means of your inherent wisdom, your true such nature, your Buddha nature, is endowed with your natural wisdom. So far, so good. And when you use your true success, then it deploys, it mobilizes your natural wisdom. Okay, in order to do what? To contemplate and illuminate all dharmas, to examine and illuminate and clearly, okay, everything. Okay, so on the surface, actually, it sounds harmless. It sounds unimportant. It sounds so trivial. Actually, here it applies to both levels. This is why it's so fascinating, the way that the great sages teach. It sounds so simple. It sounds such a obvious thing for many people, especially for the Buddhists. It said, use your own true such nature. Actually, it's another, if you are enlightened, you know what's the equivalent for that? Anyone. Okay, people, now it's a quiz. Short quiz. Let's see if you can pass the quiz. Use your own true such nature. What does it mean? I haven't taught you this yet. That's why I thought I would ask you and see who has been reading outside teacher stuff. Go ahead, old monk. Black.
Vậy là Phật. Theo con thấy cái Phật tánh mình, tức là cái biết của mình đó, qua 6 căn, nó nhận những cái xung quanh, những phenomena mà thầy nói hồi hôm đó, nó nhận giống như cái camera nhận thôi. Tại mình chộp, mình lấy hoặc mình xả, mà mình khởi lên cái vọng động là tâm tôi thích cái này, tôi không thích cái kia. Các pháp tự nó nói nó không có nói nó là nó, không có nói nó là cái gì hết. Thì Phật tánh mình thấy nó giống như hư không, thấy vậy thôi, biết vậy thôi. Cái chỗ đó là Ngài Huệ Năng nói là phướng không bay, gió không bay, mà tâm mấy ông động. Thì cái bài học này con đi với thầy tháng 3 năm 2018 ở bên Đại Hàn. Lúc mà ngồi trên phi trường, ngồi trên khách sạn chờ về Mỹ này đó, thì cái này xảy ra. Buổi trưa con ngồi con nhìn cái tấm màn, ông dịch đen hả?
That record the like and the dislike like the camera, but we grasp and we renounce like and dislike but the self nature itself doesn't speak, doesn't do anything. It is thus, just like the banner, just like the curtain, like Venerable Sixth Patriarch say, the banner or the curtain doesn't fly, or the wind doesn't win at all. This lesson, I already learned this several years ago when I went with you to Korea.
Con thấy cái tấm màn cửa đó là vẽ hình một cái cô phụ nữ đại hàn đang chải tóc.
I saw this curtain having a picture of a lady combing her hair.
Thì mình mới nhận ra là cái hình này, cái cô này nè, cái bức tranh này không có nói nó là đẹp là xấu, không có nói là cái màu này đẹp màu này xấu. Mình thấy như là một cái robot thấy thôi. Mà tại mình chụp, mình nói cái hình này cũ, hình này đẹp, hình này xấu. Rồi tất cả vọng tưởng nó theo đó, nó sinh ra là tại mình chứ không phải tại cảnh ở ngoài đâu.
I see that this image of the ladies doesn't say that it is beautiful or ugly, just like a robot, but because of us, our discriminating mind, that crafts on the image of itself, saying that this is beautiful or ugly.
Cái lỗi là do mình phân biệt, mình vọng tưởng lên, chứ cái hình nó không có nói, cái phenomenon ở ngoài nó không có nói với mình nó là cái gì cả.
The mistake is we craft onto the phenomenon itself, but its phenomenon doesn't say anything.
Giờ sau này con về đây thì con lấy dịch lý ra là cái bài học đó là do Ngài Bồ Tát Nhân Thù Sư Lợi dạy con.
Later on, I came back to America. I used I Ching manifestation to make a prediction on who the teaching come from. It is actually Manchushri Bodhisattva bestowed the teaching on me.
Đó thì con nghe cái giọng nói là ai thuộc của bộ chú tụng rồi dạy cho. Cái đêm trước.
The night before, I've heard that from my ear that somebody said, whoever remember the 5 division mantra, recite it, and you will be taught.
Thì sau khi đó thì con hiểu được cái đó, wow. Thì khi về Mỹ rồi con mới lấy cái sách dịch lý ra con dò, thì Ngài Văn Thù nói là người nào mà tụng cái chú này, cái bộ lâm á, thì khi hắn đang ngủ nửa mê nửa tỉnh, tôi sẽ đến tôi dạy. Thì con mới lấy dịch lý, phải như vậy là Ngài Văn Thù không? Thì dịch lý nói là đúng.
So then later on, when I understand it, this message, I came back and I used I Ching manifestation to ask who actually teach this. It's actually from the Bo Lam Pu Lin mantra, the 5th one, saying whoever recite, it will be taught. It's from actually Manchushri Bodhisattva teaching me.
Thì tóm lại như cái bài này, cái slide đầu tiên mình trước khi như 100 á, nói là tất cả cảnh do mình chộp, mình xả, mình so sánh. Chứ cái Phật tánh mình nó thấy, nó biết thì thôi, nó không có đòi, nó không có nói gì tại mình. Xin hết.
In conclusion, the first slide, the slide 100, form images is because of us grabbing, but the form images itself doesn't say anything. That's all.
You got that? What did he say? I don't know what he said, but this is what I did. I counted 15 sentences. Okay? So what I did is I used my own true suchness nature. And by means of wisdom, I contemplated and illuminated all 15 sentences. And I didn't grasp or reject them. That is to see my nature. Go ahead. Orange.
A Di Đà Phật. Con nghĩ đơn giản là khi mà đang mê cũng như mình đang ngủ, những cái gì trong giấc mơ mình cũng thấy là thật hết. Rồi trong cái mơ trong đó mà biểu mình nói về cái đời sống mà khi mình thức dậy thì mình không có biết gì hết. Cho nên cứ tìm một vị thiện tri thức tu, họ đánh mình thức dậy thì lúc đó mình mới biết chân như là cái gì và mình sống với chân như.
Emitofuo, Master, I simply think it that when you're dreaming in confusion, whatever you see in the dream, we thought that it is real, but when we wake up, it might not be true. Therefore, you need to find a good knowing advisor that wake you up and make you see the true nature.
Very good. Okay, we heard from the Vietnamese. Can we hear from other ethnicities, please? Okay, yeah. Okay, go China.
In my humble opinion, I think use your own true suchness nature in daily life is not to get afflicted in whatever you're doing.
Oh, I was waiting for translation. Sorry. Okay, blue, light blue.
Thank you, Master. In what I would think is use your own suchness nature. To me, it means let your instinct make the decision, because that is your true nature. And sometimes with your logic thinking, it might not be right.
Very good. Anyone else? What about the Koreans? Chung-in Sunim. What have you learned so far that you could bring back to Korea?
Sorry, Master, I don't know.
Yes, sorry, Master. Now he says more. I said, I don't know before. Now he's sorry, Master, I don't know. Anyone else from Korea? We've been training you all this time. Now it's showing me that I should continue. Master Ji, you are more Korean than American nowadays. What do you have to say on behalf of your ethnic group?
Yes, Master. Doing things without thinking.
Doing without thinking. Okay. Anyone else? How about Taiwanese? Can we hear from a Taiwanese? We are very racist, you notice by now. It's a matter of ethnicity, ethnic pride. Okay? Yes. Taiwan.
I don't have anything to add.
Oh, wow, how disappointing. The Taiwanese only money. Making money. Yes, China again.
The way I understand the old monks' explanation is not to move your mind.
Very good. Anyone else? Okay, I'll leave it open to all ethnicities. Brazilian, Mexican, and you name it. Portuguese, everyone, anyone. Communists, capitalists, LGBTQ. Wei Mong, there you go, speaking LGBTQ.
Hello? Yes. Master Emitofuo.
Oh, that's not LGBTQ.
How do I understand my true suchness nature? Just right before I got up here, my mind was fighting. One was saying that you should go upstairs and listen to Master's beautiful talk. And the other, and then the emotions.
Wait. Just one moment. Did I hear you right? you told yourself, your self-nature told yourself, you should go upstairs and listen to Master YongHua's funeral talk.
Beautiful lecture.
Oh, beautiful talk. Some I heard is funeral talk.
Prajna talk, Master.
Okay.
And then the emotionally saying, no, I want to go home. I don't want to go up there. Let me stay here. Let me go up to
that's
Manuel
your
Center.
depression goes. Don't listen to that. Yeah.
Oh, I see now, Master.
Your depression goes is the one that keeps on urging you to run away.
Thank you, Master.
Now you know. Now why you can't stay at the temple. You come to the temple and pretty soon you get up and you run away. That's your depression goes pulling your strings. It's that simple. About time you learn about your truth. You run away because it's not you. Okay, you see, the reason I asked around, because I wanted to see whether any of you read the right stuff. Okay, I learned this from a Chinese, and it's not translated clearly into other languages, not translated into Vietnamese by the Vietnamese translators, nor Taiwanese, nor, oh no, never mind Taiwanese, nor into Korean, okay, because this Chinese Dharma here is quite advanced, and even the Chinese don't get it anymore. You see, this is a crying shame because this is a tremendously beautiful Dharma. It is a fundamental Dharma in the spiritual practice, and yet the Chinese don't know anymore. They don't understand. Or the people who went to China and picked up the Chinese Dharma don't understand it anymore. My master didn't explain to his disciples because he felt they weren't ready for it, probably. But this is very critical Dharma. Use your own true suchness nature. It's fundamental in life. YouTube question.
Hi, Master. This is from Daniel Goforth. From Mexico, we use your true suchness nature to solve problems.
The Mexicans? Exactly. Okay, very good. That's what the Mexicans are Mexicans. Okay? Never mind about your true suchness nature, but in the same sentence, what does it say? It says, without grasping or rejecting them. So this is, even if you don't know what he's talking about, the message is that do not grasp, do not reject. That's why I listen to 12 sentences. Usually I say, it's for stop. But today, because of this sentence, I said, I better listen. You see? And that's what you do. This is why it's so important to listen to the great sages, because we don't necessarily understand everything, but it doesn't mean you should reject everything either. This is said, they say it for a reason. And in order for us to understand what they meant, is you have to try to do whatever you can understand. So, say again, the first part, illuminate all Dharma, whatever happened, you use your whatever, okay, that's fine, you don't understand. But whatever happens, you don't reject or you don't grasp them. Can you do that? So you should do what I did. It's just wait and wait and wait and wait. Don't jump to conclusions yet. Just wait and wait and wait. How do you not grasp or reject them? Wait. This is what people with wisdom do. They wait. They don't jump. They don't force things. That's all you can do. You wait. And Chan is the formal training that enables you to wait and wait and wait. That's how, it turns out great accomplishments are realized because those people can wait. Great men can wait. Okay? You don't lose sight of your objective, you wait and wait and wait. It happens at home too. Our cultures. Your wives, the women, are conditioned to wait. Yes or no? You wait until, he will listen. Yes or no? Yeah? That's why you have more wisdom. That's your Buddha nature in function. You use the word instinct, whatever. It's the same thing. Instinct says, that's wait. Whereas men, in our side, my side, we used to say, you're a man. Make it happen. There's no wisdom there. Okay? Make it happen means that you persevere. It doesn't mean you force issues. And that's from wisdom. And that's your Buddha natures. Okay? That is your Buddha nature in action. Your Buddha nature at work. Wait. Don't reject, don't grasp. So what you do is you resist the temptation and discarding it. Say, no, you're no good. No, I like you. And so forth. You just wait. You don't grasp, you don't reject. You wait for the right time to proceed. And that's wisdom. So far, so good? Never mind about the first part. I remind you, this first part is beyond you. But even if you don't understand it, if you're able to not grasp, not reject, that is to see your own nature and realize the Buddha way. How cool is that? See how clever it is for me to explain it to you with how you understanding whatever they're trying to tell you? It's not about understanding. It's about whether you're able to do it or not. Can you wait? Can you not reject? Can you not grasp? That is wisdom. See my point? The first part here, I can't care less about what it means to you. All I'm telling you is that if you don't understand even, or you understand the same difference, you still have to execute. Do not grasp, nor reject. Isn't that beautiful? Worldly people put so much emphasis, I don't get it, I don't understand, I agree, I disagree. Okay? What the great teacher is doing, he says, do this. That's all. That's all you have to do. Keep on doing this. Don't reject, don't grasp. Wait. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Yeah, Master, I find it very difficult to, when something happens, not have an opinion on something when it happens. So I feel like when I have an opinion on something, it's either me grasping at it or rejecting it. I like what you said about waiting. So what is that? You wait when your mind has a response, you wait, you tell your mind, wait to have a response. You don't have the response right away of grasping or
precisely.
rejecting.
It's a measured response. When you wait, then your response is measured. When you react, then it's your impulses. You're most likely wrong if you act upon impulses. If you wait, then you have more chances to do it right. Okay? Because when you don't reject and grasp, what happened? You reject and grasp. I'm glad you brought it up. We all naturally reject and grasp. We say, I'm busy, I don't have time for this. Sounds familiar? So we reject, we grasp. And what the Patriarch is saying, no, it's not wise. If you are not enlightened yet, don't reject, don't grasp. If you're enlightened, it's different. I'm not talking about enlightened people, okay? That's a different animal. But for you who are not enlightened yet, then you have to learn to control your urge to grasp or to reject. And when you force yourself to do that, something wonderful happens. Your own true suchness nature comes to the fore. That's what happens. If you don't reject, you don't grasp, you patiently wait. No, I'm not going to reject. No, I'm not going to grasp. I'm going to wait until he finishes. 15 sentences, I will wait. Okay, 16, I wait. 17, I wait. Doesn't matter, I wait. I don't reject, I don't grasp. Okay? Then that's how your wisdom comes to the fore. But if you reject and you grasp right away, then you're acting in confusion. So far, so good. We're talking about major decisions in your life. Okay? Don't jump to conclusions. Give it time. Give it time so that your wisdom can come to the fore. You have that wisdom. You're not giving it a chance to shine, that's all. It's so beautiful, the instruction. That's how you do it. Yes, Wei Mountain. It's for everyone, not just enlightened people. Yes?
So Master, it's okay, take that kind of the attitude is not grasping, not rejecting, it's just listening. It's the same as waiting.
Yeah, you fight the impulse to reject or grasp. If you don't reject and grasp, meaning you fight the impulse to reject or grasp. That's all. Don't do that. And then naturally something else will happen. Your wisdom will come forth. All right? Wei Mountain.
So is that like middle way, in the middle between grasping and rejecting? Would that be considered middle way?
No. If you have a thought of, I like this, let's go for it. You say, no, that's wait. You say, this is nonsense. He's an idiot. He's sort of like, he's always doesn't make sense at all. I told him 4 sentences, but he's doing 15 sentences, 16, 17, and so forth. You still don't reject. He said, okay, I wait. See that? I'm not making any promises. I'm only telling you of a different way of operating where especially when it's so important to you, you need to make an important decision, or this person is important to you, don't jump to conclusions. Don't grasp, don't reject, just wait. And wait until you're ready. So it's about fighting your impulses to reject or grasp. That's what it means. It is so beautiful, let me tell you. The Patriarch's teaching is so beautiful. I explain it only at the low level. At the high level, it also means something else that I'm not going to explain it to you, okay? And because it's a Chinese teaching. It's a Chinese saying, all the Patriarch, all the enlightened Patriarch, that's saying in Chinese, and it's not translated. It shows you that unless you appreciate the Chinese Dharma, will be lost. It's not translated into Vietnamese, it's not translated into Korean, that's why no one knows it. Even Master YongHua didn't explain it to his disciples. But that's when enlightened people function, that's how they function. Okay, so enlightened people, and they, no grasping, no rejecting. But because they, it's easy for them to not grasp or reject. You like? You enlightened, then I teach you. You're not enlightened, I'm not going to teach you. You don't deserve it. You have to earn it. Okay? You earn it by learning to condition yourself now. Major decisions. Okay? It affects your life or other people's lives. Don't reject, don't grasp. Listen and wait and fight that urge to reject or grasp. And then, if you're able to, go back to meditation, contemplate, and that's when you see clearer. Okay, but for enlightened people, it's much faster than you. If they do, then they got it. It is so beautiful with Dharma. And the way the Master puts it, okay, the Master Huineng puts it, okay, he says, use your own true nature, and because you do that, and there's a way to do that, okay, that the enlightened people, the Chinese taught their enlightened people, okay, and by means of wisdom means when you do, then your wisdom comes to the fore. And that's when you only find the habit energy of grasping is you're not even Vietnamese. What's the point? You too. I don't like you. Kind of thing. You see, all the prejudices come. Okay, so it is such a beautiful confirmation where he puts his own words, and his words actually is much deeper than the instructions in Chinese. I assure you, this is such a treasure that Master Huineng gave to us. It's so profound. All right? Yeah, cool? Yes? And that's why, you see, now so the Chinese lady is complaining already. He said, oh, it hurts so much. I don't like this. Yeah, it's called rejecting. Poor girl. It's only 45 minutes. Another hour to go. She's going crazy. I love this. This is one thing here I really appreciate what he's doing, what he's teaching is so beautiful. The confirmation of all the Patriarch's teachings in much more elegant way. 102. good no advisors, if you wish to enter the extremely profound Dharma realm and the Prajna Samadhi, you must cultivate the practice of Prajna. Hold and recite the Vajra Patriarch Sutra, and that way you will see your own nature.
善知识，若欲入甚深法界及般若三昧者，须修般若行持诵金刚般若经，即得见性。
All right. And he said, okay, I give you general theory, okay, in prior slide. Use your own true sense of nature. That's the theory. Being wisdom is theory. Contemplate and illuminate all Dharma is the theory, okay? And without grasping and rejecting, that's the key word here. And that's how you see your own nature in the realized Buddha way. So that's how you practice chant. You do chant, you do that, that's chant right there. It has nothing to do with your crossing your legs, nothing to do with coming to the temple, unfortunately. All right? Losers will come to the temples, they need help. And you can do this, you don't need any help. Come on. Who needs a loser to help you? Huh? So far, so good? Okay, but you come here because you losers. Okay. Anyway, so now he says, but let me tell you, give me some more specifics. Okay, because people ask, they say, I don't know how, grasping, not rejecting Buddha nature and so forth. It's not, can you give me some things I do? Okay, not something that's not clear to me. So he says, furthermore, for you to enter the extremely profound Dharma realm and the Prajna Samadhi. So he says, for you who have higher aspiration, who have much higher standards, okay, and then you aspire to understand the profound Dharma realm, this universe here, and this Prajna Samadhi. What is a samadhi that brings forth, that opens up your wisdom? Okay, if you want, you're into that kind of exotic things. Okay, then what do? You must cultivate the practice of Prajna. You need to do Prajna, cultivate Prajna. How do you cultivate Prajna? Okay, so whatever it is, you want to go further, you have to practice Prajna, and in order to practice Prajna, he says, hold and recite the Vajra Patriarch Sutra. And that way you will see your nature. Okay, chữ sung, hold and recite. Hold. What is hold and recite? Chữ sung. What does it mean? Chinese people, help us out. What does it mean? Sung, okay, is to recite. Yes? Recite what? Usually here, recite from memory. That's when you use sung. Am I correct? Chinese people, help me out. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sung is from memory. Okay? You have to memorize the sutra. That's the first requirement. Okay? How about chữ? Yes, Taiwanese person.
Not necessarily has to be from memory.
Does it have from memory?
You can recite by reading.
Okay. Okay. For low-level people, okay, I buy that. You Taiwanese people, I forgive you. What about chữ? What do Taiwanese people think? See, I don't reject, nor do I grasp. Yeah, what about chữ? This is very important instruction. We better understand, we better agree what it means. Not only for ourselves, but for everyone else. Sung. If you sung regularly, it becomes from memory. Is that clear? You keep on reciting it, okay? Eventually, you will commit it to memory. So naturally, you will memorize it. So far, so good? What about chữ? Yes, Chinese person. You don't have to look back in the Taiwanese. You asked me in Taiwan.
I respectfully disagree with wonderful Xianxing. I think song is very often, I think especially in the ancient context, it's from memory, because the 熟读成诵. So you read and then you recite. So 过目成诵. Song is oftentimes referring to recite from memory.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how the Vietnamese think too.
Yeah. Du is more read, song is more.
Yeah, song has a connotation of memory, from memory.
Yeah.
But the Taiwanese are different. They're in an island for too long.
I think 持 is keep in mind. Is that 持 is keep it?
What is 持? What is 后? Hou. Oh, you Chinese people, I have to explain Chinese to you Chinese people. We're not even talking about Buddhist jargon here. What's 持? He's so happy. It's weird. Should go on vacation more often. Yeah? 持. What's 持? Yes. Green.
I think 持 from the Chinese, I guess is you hold the book in your hand, but later I think is you have the sutra in the mind, like 持, and with respect, and you recite.
Very good. Exactly. 持 here is what it says. You hold. You hold in your hands. But 持 here is more than holding your hands, holding your mind. That's what it's referring to. Remember, the Buddhists are not attached to arms or hands. Okay? When they say anything, it goes back to the mind. Hold it in your mind. Meaning what? Always think of it, Always use it to interpret. It's like when you're a programmer, okay, 持 is loaded into your memory, your RAM. It's always there. Make sense? So you can access it immediately. It's no more loading. It's no more paging in and paging out. No more caching. It's always there. Okay? It's your operating system is right there, part of your operating system. Everything is ready to be used. So it's constantly ready, a state of readiness. Okay? So it says whole, meaning that you never lose sight of it. Okay? Meaning that everything is interpreted under the lights of prajna. Okay? Does it help? To recite, okay, is just keep on reciting as often you can. But 持 is that it's there. Okay, so that's why I asked him today. Someone told me today that the wife now when she fights him, she uses dirty tactics, if you will. She can't win anymore because his samadhi level is so high now, so much higher than her. So what she does in order to get back at him is to call the sun immediately and complain to the sun. And that's the only way that he would back down. It's like two bulls fighting, two goats, two rams ramming each other, and she knows she's going to lose. Therefore, she get the son to ram his head on her behalf. It's so beautiful, okay? So, and he's very unhappy. He said, you know, it's so unfair. I mean, he couldn't even verbalize it. It's my wife. I cannot say she's unfair. It sounds weak, right? So what do? So I listened I was amused by that, and I was waiting to see what he's going to say, and this is what I did. But he didn't do anything. I waited for a while, and nothing happened. So I finally said, you know what? I cannot wait any longer. I skipped the first sentence, but the second sentence I told him. I said, next time she does it to you, okay, here's what you do to her. He said, would your Lama approve? Okay? And did I skip? The sentence I skipped was that's gang banging, which is illegal. Okay, but that's too offensive, you know. So that's the point I'm trying to make is that that's exactly holding. Holding is you illuminate. You say, is it consistent with the Prajna teaching or not? Huh? Is it consistent? So it's always in memory. So you always interpret everything under those lights. That's why it's called holding. You know, I will not let go of this principle. Understand? It's so beautiful. Why the Chinese taught their own kinds like that, and we don't have those instructions. Have you thought about it? Huh? Only Buddhists have such instruction. Chu Song. It's so beautiful. Chu is, you know, you interpret everything is right here. Okay? You will not let go of that principle. My lava would not approve of this. This is not what we teach you. That's true. I don't have to be there. But when something happens, you look at your own behavior and say, is this consistent with our way of spiritual beliefs? Do we steal? Do we lie? Do we gang up on people? That's why when you hold the Patriarch Sutra, you are looking at your own actions. Should I give up? Oh, this is too much. You see that? And that's true. It is so beautiful. Questions or comments? And so the instruction is that to simplify it, you keep reciting a Vajra Sutra, and you recite it long enough, you will memorize it naturally. That's how you can hold it. Yes? Chinese person.
Master, could you also explain how to cultivate the practice of prajna?
Cultivate, practice prajna. That's what he says. Hold and recite the sutra. That's how beautiful it is.
Oh, I thought that's two different
No.
things.
So that's explanation. This is why, and that should be here, right here. This period should be a colon. Okay, it's not a period, it's a colon. Let me explain. Hold and recite the Vajrapāṇi Sutra. Period. That way you will see your own nature. That's how I would translate it. You have to forgive these people. They don't understand. Okay, the Chinese don't have the precise punctuation that we do in the Western language, but this is how I would punctuate it. If you wish to enter the extreme profound Dharma realm and Prajna Samadhi, you must cultivate a practice of Prajna. Okay? And to clarify it, hold and recite the Vajrapāṇi Sutra. Period. That way you will see your own nature. It's very precise. This is a great teacher. When he says something that important, he explains right away how to do it. It's not theory at all. He says, I know you don't know how to cultivate prajna. Let me give you a tip. Hold and recite the Vajra Sutra. Now, it's become clearer why in the early days, Chan school in China, what did the patriarchs teach? They taught their followers the Vajra Sutra. No Shrangama Sutra, no Lankavatara Sutra, no other sutras, but Vajra Sutra. From here. So, for example, if you have no good new advisors and you have a hard time finding one, okay, this is what you ought to do, okay? Hold and recite the Vajra Sutra. And keep on doing and doing. It might take a long time, but you're on the right path. And remember the example about the guy who fights with his wife. I don't know why he would fight his wife, to be fair. If you really hold and recite the Vajra Sutra, you would never fight with your wife. But since now we engage in a fight, and we might as well win. You understand? You see, so Wei Mao.
I just have a quick question.
A quick or a good question?
Quick question.
Okay.
Quick.
There's no good question here.
How can I win a battle with Apple in an argument the Buddhist way?
What kind of question is that? You think I will help you defeat my own kind? Would you trust me? I'll give you instructions. What kind of person am I? Next. Yes, orange.
Dạ thưa Thầy, xin Thầy dạy thêm cho con được rõ. Trì tụng thì con thấy trong những thời công phu á, luôn luôn có trì tụng tâm kinh Bát Nhã. Nhưng mà con thấy ai cũng đọc rào thuộc hết rồi, nhưng mà chỉ như vậy thôi sao? Hay là còn phải có sự quán chiếu và từ từ mình áp dụng trong đời sống?
The people who, well, yeah, go ahead, translate.
Always recite a Heart Sutra, and everybody read it over and over, like they memorize it. But is that all that we need to do? Do we have to illuminate that to everyday practice?
Okay. going back to the prior instruction, he says, for you to become enlightened, that is to see your own nature and realize the Buddha way, that's how it's referring to, is to be enlightened, okay? You should not grasp or reject. So far, so good, okay? And that's the instruction. Furthermore, he says, let me give you some more tips, okay? So you don't reject and grasp, and you constantly hold and recite the Patriarch Sutra. He's not talking about the Heart Sutra. He's talking about Vajra Sutra. Okay, what's the difference? It's a bit longer. Okay, it's a little bit actually accommodates more levels than the Heart Sutra. Okay, because the first part of the Vajra Sutra is for people not enlightened yet, and second part is for enlightened people. The instruction for the second part is for bodhisattvas. First part is for us unenlightened people. Okay, so that's why it prepares you, and then brings you to a higher level. Okay, after you become enlightened. Okay, so that's a difference in sutras. Number one. Number two, there's a difference in the practice. What she's referring to is true. A lot of Buddhist disciples, they memorize the Heart Sutra as they're told by their Dharma masters, by their teachers. But is memorizing enough? It's not. You still have to hold. Okay, especially your acquaintances, they recite the Buddha's name, they recite sutras, they memorize things, but they don't hold them. And that's a difference. You need to hold them. To hold them meaning that you have to stick to those principles. You cannot say, everything is empty anyway, okay? And that's reciting. Everything is empty, everything is empty, everything is empty, okay? But I'm still stingy. Okay? Then, if you're stingy, then everything is not empty, is it? So, as you say, everything is empty, everything is empty, but you say, oh, that's too expensive. That's too much. Okay? That's a contradiction to what you're just reciting. Therefore, you need to resolve that issue. You cannot ignore it. Normally, what people do is they ignore it. They say, okay, never mind about this, never mind about that, never mind about this. So therefore, they're not holding at all. That's a problem with the spiritual practice. They're not following instructions properly. It's not about memorizing. It's not about reciting. It has to be hold. You have to hold it. You have to live by those principles. Try your best to uphold those principles. Hold or uphold is slightly better to translate as uphold and recite. Okay? Change it. Uphold and recite. Yeah, fix it for you. Simplify. Uphold. Very good. Very good. See? It's very precise. So for people who cannot sit in full lotus, they find full lotus too painful, okay? They don't need to sit in full lotus. Look at some people laughing already. I like this. I'm giving up. I go back to zero lotus. Okay? But then when you recite the Vajra Sutra, there's a part where it says, your legs are empty. Get back into full lotus. Okay? Very good. Okay, very good. Next, 104. You should know that the merit and virtue of this sutra is immeasurable and boundless. As the sutra text itself clearly states and extols, it cannot be completely described.
当知此经功德无量无边，经中分明赞叹，莫能具说。
What is he referring to? Is he referring, this six Patriarch Sutra is immeasurable and has immeasurable and boundless merit and virtue? No. This Vajra Sutra, the merit and virtue of you upholding and reciting, okay? You do that, you are creating immeasurable and boundless merit and virtue. It's free. If you can do that, then you have incredible blessings. Problem, you can't do it. You recite the Buddha's name, it applies to YongHua to reciting the Buddha's name, same thing. You recite the Buddha's name, you're supposed to contemplate Amitabha Buddha, which is pure, who is devoid of anger, devoid of greed. If you recite the Buddha's name, one side, and then you say, ooh, I want to win the super lotto, I want to become president, okay? Then you're not upholding the Buddha's name. This is where the Pure Land people go wrong. They think it's only reciting Buddha's name. No, it isn't. You have to uphold the Buddha's name. You don't simply recite it. How can you, one side says, Amitabha Buddha is the most wonderful human being there is, okay? And you, on the other side, you think of killing, of stealing, of cheating people, and so forth. Huh? It doesn't work. That's why you can recite the Buddha's name for forever. You won't get to the Pure Land. Is that clear? And this is where the Pure Land instruction, they're a little bit off because they don't understand how to recite the Buddha's name. And because you recite Buddhism in one hand, the other hand you are indulging in thoughts of greed, or anger, or stupidity, you will not be able to enter this Buddha station samadhi in the first place. It's so sad. And that's so destructive, because these people who recite the Buddha's name for 20 or 30 years, because I recite the Buddha's name every day at the same time as they're reciting, they're entertaining thoughts of greed, anger, stupidity. And they're very proud of it. I'm reciting Buddha's name. So they are reciting Buddha's name, but they're not upholding the Buddha's name. It's the same principle. You recite Buddha's name, Emitofuo, Emitofuo, Emitofuo. And then the thought arises, I'm going to beat my wife today. You should ask yourself immediately, would Master YongHua approve of it? Never mind about the lamas. See that? It's upholding. Does it help? It's not just a Vajra Sutra. Kudos to you, you can memorize the Vajra Sutra and recite it and so forth. That's wonderful. You're a superior person, you can do that. And I'm talking about this is a general instruction for all the Dharma doors. You recite the Heart Sutra, same thing. You read Heart Sutra, you understand what it means. Most of you don't, because it's too compact, it's too abstract, therefore you don't know what they're talking about. And therefore, you recite it like a parakeet, and you don't know what it means. Okay, and that's fine too. Okay, that's why it's better you recite the Vajra Sutra, for example, because part of the Vajra Sutra you can understand. It makes sense to you intuitively. But the Heart Sutra is way too abstract. It's difficult to understand. So it takes a lot longer. But it's uphold. It's a true. The Chinese instruction is so beautiful. Okay? And this is what happens to the people. They learn the Dharma and they, oh, this is so nice, so wonderful. And as soon as you leave the temple, they put it down and say, oh, I'm free to do as I please. Then you're not upholding the teaching. Like the Catholics. The Catholics, you know, and they come on Sundays, listen to good word and go back. They say, I'm going to do whatever I please. And then I come back next Sunday and confess. Go to confession. That's wrong. Okay? You learn the good words, then you need to apply it every day. Daniel, is your Pope for or against abortion? Your Pope, I'm not talking about your imagination, your beliefs.
Against.
Against abortion. Is he for or against abortion rights? Two different things. He has to think. You too, go ahead.
From Lyle, my son woke up now and asked me to ask a question to Master YongHua. My son wants to be a Xu Tuo Huan so that he could teach sitting full lotus to his classmates. And he's also curious what it's like to be a Xu Tuo Huan.
Xu Tuo Huan. Oh my goodness.
He's 10 years old, so he wants to know what it's like to be a Xu Tuo Huan and how hard is it to be one.
Wow, this lady's son is so special. Bless him. Oh my Lord. Oh, sweet, sweet Lord. Bless you, child. What a loaded question in the midst of the Sixth Patriarch Sutra. So, in other words, she's asking me, testing me to give some instruction so that they can compare it against Sixth Patriarch's instruction, uphold and recite the Vajra Sutra. Because you do that, by the way, you can also get to Xu Tuo Huan. Okay, the first stage, Arhat. Okay? All right, he's 10. I'll give him a few more years, he'll make it, number one, we hope. And you dare ask that kind of question, I'm impressed. By the way, I started to notice recently, quite a few of you are getting there in that zone, which pleases me to no end. Lose some, win a lot more. No, nothing. It sounds too bitter. Just kidding. You guys are so serious. Like YongHua, she's so upset all morning at lunch. How can I swallow this? Some people spend the entire morning preparing food for you. You say, I can't swallow this. Have a heart. Anyway, the point is Xu Tuo Huan is the first stage Arhat, what it's like. When you get to that stage, that state of samadhi, you are a lot more immune to the disappointments of life or the excitements of life. You are a lot more unperturbed. You're calmer. Your head is clearer. For example, what does your son like, Lyle? What does he like to eat? You too. I didn't realize he also listens to the 6th Patriarch Sutra. The Koreans are way too much. Yeah? And even the kids nowadays are interested in the sutra lectures. These kids are not normal. What is our world becoming? So, for example, you give him his favorite food, okay? His favorite toy. He jumps up and down, and what happens is he still enjoys it, but the joy is as equally intense as before, okay? But it's shorter in duration. How is that? He still enjoyed it tremendously, but he can restore his calm, and he becomes collected a lot faster, a lot more easily than before. That's the difference, okay? So that means that if someone praises him or scolds him, okay, then he can remain calm and or can restore his calm a lot faster than before. Okay, that's the first thing. Number 2 is that with that state, then he'll be able to absorb, understand the instructions, how to do things much better. That's why I phrase it as, he can be taught. Whereas low levels, you teach them, they don't get it. They cannot do it. Higher levels, when you have some spiritual wisdom, when you have a problem, you teach them, they can execute. Low levels, they can't. They cannot help themselves. They're too afflicted. They can't let go of their afflictions. Whereas first stage arhats are higher, they realize they're afflicted, we point it out to them, they can restore their balance, recover quicker, and then they can listen. Ordinary people, they're afflicted, they remain afflicted. Good luck trying to change them. Okay? Once they reject you, that's it. When they grasp you, that's it. They can't let go. Does it help? That's how you gauge yourself. You don't need me, but you look at yourself and say, oh, wow, I can let go so much quicker. I'm calmer than before, okay? And then you're in a range of first stage arhatship. Xu To Huan. That's a cool state of being. You're more firmly in control of your life, better control of your emotions, a lot less afflicted. Therefore, your head is clearer. All right. So how long would it be for him? Well, he has to meditate. He has to listen to a lot more lectures, and he has to work harder than you. Lyle. I didn't realize how hardworking Lyle really is. Amazing. Okay. I do have room for a young woman with a child. Just kidding. Okay. So the merit and virtue of your reciting a sutra, upholding the sutra, is immeasurable and boundless, as it's stated in the sutra text itself. The sutra text reiterates that you hold these 4 lines this 4-line gatha. Your merit and virtue is immeasurable and so forth. And it cannot be completely described. 106. This Dharma door is a supreme vehicle taught for people of great wisdom and superior faculties.
此法门是最上乘，为大智人说，为上根人说。
107. This Dharma door of Prajna, in particular, if you're able to execute and memorize your Prajna, the Vasha Sutra, and uphold and recite it, okay? Then it's a lot faster, by the way, than you think. To recite is pretty fast. Okay, once you memorize, you recite it very, very fast. I haven't memorized it yet, but I figure you can recite it within minutes. It can be that fast eventually. Okay? But upholding, it takes a bit longer, like 24 hours. Okay? I don't want to mislead you. Okay? So this Dharma door here is a supreme vehicle. So for example, it's perfect for those of you who wish that, okay, you go to, next time you go to a Chanchi, good time to try that. How's that? Yeah. Recite the sutra from morning, from all day, 24 hours a day. You know what? In that environment, that's what in our environment is called uphold. Okay? It's ideal environment for you to uphold it. You're surrounded by very evil people. I mean, good people. YouTube.
What is asking? Oh, Master, there's an answer from Lyle. He likes to eat tteokbokki. Korean street food made of rice cake.
Korean seafood made of rice cake?
No. It's street food.
Street food?
Yeah.
Oh,
made of rice cake.
I like this boy. I love street food. Okay.
And it's spicy.
And spicy too. Oh, a real man. This guy has potential. Make a few more babies. I like that. Okay, and also a suggestion for you, especially next Qi, the next Chanchi in particular. I would urge the Korean Sangha, our Korean Sangha members, to uphold and recite the Vasha Sutra. Okay, in particular, Xianan, look at just recite the sutra, and then when thoughts of rejection and grasping, okay, happen, just go back to reciting a sutra, okay? Or thoughts of anger or greed arise, okay? Ignore them and go back to reciting the sutra. That's all you do. And the environment is perfect, the time is perfect. Okay? You can take turn doing that for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and so forth. And see how it works. Okay? You can do it for 7 days. You will make tremendous progress. All right. Questions or comments? Oh, she gave up already? Is it 75 minutes? God, you guys are slave drivers. I mean, hey, don't listen to her. We do it once a year. Don't listen to them. They're pushing you too hard. I would do it once and maybe once in a blue moon. Don't listen to them. You poor lady. You are abusing her. It's mom abuse. YouTube, go ahead.
From Go Forest Daniel, Master, my nephew Ruben can sit in full lotus for an hour. He's skirting to the lecture and asks how many hours does he need to sit in order to have a lot of blessings.
It's not how many hours you have, it's how often he does it. Okay, it's excellent. Every time he sits in full lotus, he creates a lot of blessings. You know, it's the thing. If you are able to sit in full lotus, you may not get it, you may not see it, you may not understand, but you are creating inconceivable merit and virtue. Okay? So just do it. Don't be greedy. You do it, the more you do it without being greedy, you're doing like we tell you to do, that's how you generate more merit and virtue, more blessings. Instead of, oh, I sit here because I'm creating blessings. It's not necessary. Just cross your legs. You're generating a lot of blessings naturally. You don't need to be greedy. Okay, like women. Okay, look at the poor lady. Now how happy she looks. Oh, I'm so calm and peaceful. It feel nice after the pain. It feels so peaceful. Excellent. Okay, so it's Dharma door, supreme vehicle, meaning that you can go very far, all the way to Buddhahood. Okay, for people of great wisdom and superior faculties. Great wisdom. What's great wisdom? You believe it. If you believe it, then you really believe this thing. You say, okay, that sounds right to me. That's great wisdom, by the way. It's that simple. I'm not talking about, you know this, you know that. The great wisdom here is that you believe in the instructions. And you're willing, okay? And then superior faculties, meaning that you're willing to do it. Faculties here refers to, are you able to do it or not? It's not about knowledge. Can you do it? Can you uphold? Yes, I can. Remember? That's superior faculties. 108. When people limited faculties and wisdom hear it, the minds give rise to doubt.
小根小智人闻心生不信。
So 109. In contrast, people who are limited, okay, they call it limited faculties, meaning that they lack in blessings. Faculties here could be equated to blessings. Okay, to simplify it for you, faculties is how much do you have? How far can you go? Okay, that's blessings. And of limited blessings and wisdom. Wisdom is how do you have limited wisdom, meaning that you believe in your thinking mind. If you prioritize your thinking, your understanding over your instinct, over your Buddha nature, over your practical wisdom, then you have limited wisdom. Okay? It's a lot more damaging than you think, especially most smart people, educated people, successful people. They have superior intellect. They are smarter than the rest of us. And that's why they're called limited wisdom. How insulting is that? And that's why most of our believers don't have limited accomplishments. They're not very smart. They're not good in math. How do you multiply 13 by 24? It's not 276. How can you have 13 times 24 ends with a 26? It ends with a 2 digit. Immediately I heard something's off. What is wrong with my disciples? They're no good in math. What is the matter with all of you? And that's called regression. You used to be so smart in math and so forth, and you did so well in school, now you're regressing. And I tell Lio's son that's the case. Xu To Huan, you know. Just kidding. Okay. So people limited faculties and wisdom. Okay. Wisdom here, I'd be blunt with you. Limited wisdom means that your intellect weighs heavier than your natural Buddha wisdom. Okay? Your inherent wisdom. And that's the way it is. That's how it is. It's very challenging for you. The minds give rise to doubt. How do you know you have limited faculties and limited wisdom? When we tell you about the great Prajna Dharma, we tell you about the Mahayana wisdom, you have doubts. Anyone? Me included. Because I used to look at my Shishyo and disciples and say, really? These people really are superior? Are you kidding me? They dress funny, they walk funny, they talk funny, the posture is bad, they have no hair, the clothes are just so cheap, and they're supposed to have superior faculties and wisdom. Yeah, right. Doubt. Okay? When you doubt the sagely teaching, that's when you have limited faculties and wisdom. Next, 110. Why? Take, for example, the rain, which the heavenly dragon shower on Jambudvipa. Cities and villages drift about in the flood like grape leaves.
何以故？譬如天龙下雨，雨言浮提，城邑聚落，溪皆漂流如飘藻叶。
Okay, now when the Buddha spoke the Dharma, he used a lot of analogies. And you notice in how, this is great, Patriarch here, he explained a lot of principles. We don't know what he means. I have to elaborate for you, okay? Ask you a question, all of you go, huh? Oh yeah? And I try to give you time to answer. We wasted half an hour and no one came even close, okay? So the Buddha knew that, so he would use a lot of analogies very frequently. But this Patriarch here, he spoke a lot, and suddenly, now he gives an analogy. It's kind of interesting, the pattern here. Okay? Why is that? Do you know? Why? Usually I would be insulting you by now, but since today we talk about non-rejecting, non-grasping, shucks, I don't have a whole lot of choice. It's still fresh in your memory. Yes, sir. Give him something.
I think this part is meant for people with limited wisdom, so it needs to use analogy.
Excellent. Okay? What happened is that his students are superior. That's why when he spoke the Dharma to them, when he explained this part of the Dharma, he looked at them and said, oh, you understand, there's no point giving analogies. You only give analogies because they don't get it. And that tells you that the kinds of superior disciples he had. It's incredible. He's surrounded by great students. That's why after that, okay, the Chinese Chan Dharma, Chinese Mahayana blossomed, prospered. He had such many eminent disciples, so many of them. So he says, now I've been talking a lot, so let me give you an example, okay? In order to help those of you who got a little bit lost, and also to give you a break for those of you. Teach you how to teach. You see the rhythm. You say, I know you understand, but in order to teach, you have to give analogies, because that's what we do. Our teachers do, what Buddhas do. They gave excellent analogies. He says, like dragon rain, okay, into Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is how the sages describe our cosmos, our cosmology, how we structure, every world structure in a Dharma realm, the entire universe. They see it, oh, this is the spiritual structure of you, the sun, the moon, the Mount Sumru, 4 continents, and so forth. Okay? And Jambudvipa is one of the 4 continents, the south continent, where we stay. Okay, that's all you need to know. Don't try to connect to me like my Shishima did. Jambudvipa is like the American continent, and the African continent is like the northern continent, and so forth. What are you talking about? Forget it. It causes more problems to give this kind of analogy. Okay, like America is Jambudvipa. Give me a break. It's China, not America. Okay, just kidding. China, Vietnam. Okay, so he gave an example of the dragon rain into the Jambudvipa, our continent. Okay, 112. But if this rain falls on the Great Sea, its waters neither increase nor decrease.
若雨大海不增不减。
113. But for the great dragons to cause rain into our southern continent, where we are, okay, is no different from their giving rise to rain into the Great Sea, because the sea level will neither increase nor decrease. 114. If people, the great vehicle, the most supreme vehicle, hear the Patriarch Sutra and their minds open up, awaken and understand, they then know that the original nature itself possesses the wisdom of prajna.
若大圣人，若最上乘人，闻说《金刚经》，心开悟解，故知本性自有般若之智。
Okay, remember we're talking about doubts, the people with limited abilities, limited wisdom, they give rise to doubt, whereas the one with superior faculties, they're different. Yes, you too.
From Lyle, my son is actually not listening to your lecture. He says he can't understand even there's translation. Now he's writing down the Heart Sutra. So here's my question. A few days ago, I suggested my son to write down the Heart Sutra every day, and I do the same to Chu Song. Actually, I was hoping that his handwriting to be improved, and I want him to be interested in handwriting. So I suggested Buddhism-related texts to copy by hand. In Korea, there's this saying that if you write down 1,000 times of the Heart Sutra, your wish comes true. So some people write down this sutra when they have important exams and so on. So I told him that this would help you to be a Xu Tuo Huan. And I realized I have said that I don't know. Can this help him to achieve what he wants?
But you ruined it for him already. You lied to him. You overpromised. And that will forever destroy his faith in Buddhism. Stop doing that. Okay, you have to respect him more. Your problem is that you are underestimating his smarts. He gets a lot. Kids are so smart nowadays. So treat him with more respect. Okay? And so I don't know. He should do what you do. That's fine. For him to do the calligraphy, improve his calligraphy by copying sutras. That's a good thing. So keep it up. Don't worry. Okay, it's the right direction. Okay, and don't forget to give him candies. He's a kid after all. Make it treat him like a normal kid with more respect. Okay, don't mislead him. Don't say things that you aren't sure is true. It's for your own good. You cannot mislead people. No matter how well-intentioned we are, we should not mislead them. Okay? But very good. The fact that you are engaging in meditation and listening to sutra lectures, and that in itself rubs off onto your kids and to your family in a good way. But don't be too obsessed about it. We try our best, okay, for ourselves, and others around us will naturally benefit from it. We don't need to impose it upon them. Okay? They let them choose, pick and choose. It's like you as a mother, you cook food, you cannot tell them to eat everything you cook. It's not good for them, right? Same thing. Buddhism is when you practice your spiritual things, just practice for yourself. Become a better person. Uphold and recite the Buddhist teachings, okay? And if others, don't force it upon others. Let them pick and choose themselves, okay? Don't try so hard. That's called fundamental respect for others, including your children. All right. When people of the great vehicle, the most supreme vehicle, meaning our own followers, our own disciples, okay, they hear the Patriarch Sutra, okay, their minds open up, 心开悟解, the minds open up, awaken, and understand. Okay, what does it mean? This is actually some good guidelines for us so that we avoid imposing our knowledge and our beliefs on our families and friends and acquaintances. It's wrong for example, to me and for the Catholics or the Christians to impose their beliefs on others, like, believe in God, God will save you, Jesus will save you. That's total nonsense, okay? Whatever you believe, it's up to you. There's nothing wrong with that. We respect that. But you don't say that, you don't impose upon others. God will save you, or Buddha will save you. I want you to become Buddhist. Like YongHua says, you should become Buddhist. It's good for you. We don't. We just, okay? So, if the occasion arises and you hear about the supreme vehicles, okay, if they have good roots, this is why you don't need to force it. People, if they have the good roots, okay, when they listen, you hear about the Mahayana Dharma, their minds open up, awaken, and understand. You're talking about people with superior roots. What does it mean, open up, awaken, and understand? Open up means what? What happens when your mind opens up? Become respectful. What else? Accept. Opens up. Here's what happens. It's kind of interesting. Xinkai is kind of interesting. The point here is that usually our mind is not open. Agree or disagree? We have this tunnel vision. It's that this is how I see the world. This is how I see you. This is how I see her. Our mind is closed. Isn't it interesting? So the observation to me of this sage is that your minds are not open. But when you hear the Dharma, okay, even though your mind is not open, your mind is closed, it opens up. It's oh, you don't reject it. That's Shinkai. You don't reject. Okay? Awaken. Awaken is something inside of you. It rings true as awaken. We're not talking about, the light goes off, something. Something inside of your heart, inside your mind say, yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, awaken. It's like you just woke up from sleep, from a coma, and you see things differently. Okay? You no longer are in this dream world, this world where that's not real. Now you're back to reality. Okay? And that's the analogy. You awaken to the truth, the real truth. Okay? And understand. Understand is jie, is to Chinese people. Why do I have to explain Chinese to you? Jie here is not intellect. Okay? Understand here is not about, I agree. Jie here is all of a sudden you say, oh yeah. You agree immediately. Huh? You just instinctively you say, oh yeah, of course. People do that to me so often nowadays. That's why I said, all of you, something wrong with you. I speak very profound principles. Oh yeah. Seriously? You're lying to me. Okay? So this understanding is that, all of a sudden, yeah, of course, without thinking, without understanding, and in the ordinary people is that it's a deduction process. They say, I know A, therefore, because of A, B is true. Because B is true, therefore C is true. So it's a deduction process. Okay? Where the understanding here for those people who open up, okay, who say, awaken, and say, oh yeah, now I see things from different perspective. And understand meaning that it makes sense to them without deduction, without thinking, without analyzing. It just makes sense to them. That's the nature of wisdom. You just know it. You say, it's true. Why is that? Why is there such understanding? Why? Because
mình có sẵn rồi.
You have it already. That's why you understand it again without thinking. Remember, if you use your intellect, you have to deduce, you have to reason it out. But if you've done it already, you say, of course. It's much faster. Okay? When this happens, your mind opens up. You don't reject it. You awaken. You say, oh, wait a minute. It's a different world, isn't it? Different perspective, isn't it? Yeah! It's understand. without thinking. Yeah, of course. Is that full lotus or half lotus? It's just a requirement here in the temple. You watch, TV at the temple in the Buddha hall, it has to be in full lotus. Hey boy, did you know that? Okay? Then they know that their original nature itself possesses the wisdom of Prajna. Then they can be convinced, they can be reminded that their nature possesses Prajna. Okay? This is how I would interpret it. And then they can be told, then they can believe that their original nature itself possesses the wisdom of Prajna. It's our jobs, by the way. The times are different. During the 6 patriarchs' times, his disciples are superior. They have tremendous blessings. Nowadays, we don't have that anymore. We have fewer blessings. In particular, what's the difference? We have many more obstructions. We indebted our neck. It's a scary thing. You should be scared. I'm scared like crazy. Okay? The obstructions are like the debts, the weight heavily on you, and therefore you don't possibly know. Okay, that's why now it's a Sangha's job. People like you, my generation, your generation, to recognize it and remind them. Now you understand reason number 10, why I remind you, you are Suto Huan, or you are 4th stage Arhat, or you are 4th round Bodhisattva. It's because you need to be reminded so that you can overcome your obstructions a lot faster. But back then, they know immediately, once they opens up, awaken and understand, immediately they might say, oh, of course, that's it. They're done. But it's not in our case. Our obstruction is just too heavy, way too heavy. So we need more time. Yes, light blue, azure.
Is abstractions? Can obstructions be tackled by blessings, or?
No, it's just obstruction. It's just like, obstruction, nothing to be alarmed about. Obstruction is like you have this veil, okay? Or you have this darkness in front of you. Obstruction can be handled as easily as you are 4th stage Arhat, and bing, the light goes on, bing! And you use the eyes of 4th stage Arhat to look at things. That's all. Before that, see, your mind say, oh, I'm unhappy and so forth. So your mind is stuck on the obstructions. But when you remind it, oh, wait a minute, I am a 4th stage Arhat, therefore I don't have to be afflicted anymore. When my husband yells at me and criticizes me, I look at it as empty. I look at him as empty.
So what happens when to the karmic debts when you look at things in a different perspective? Are those debts are just gone?
Then they can no longer obstruct you. You may still owe, but they cannot obstruct you. Okay? Because we have choices. We can say, okay, you are trying to stop me, okay? All I have to do is shift gear. I'm no longer here. You can't stop me here. I will. My consciousness, it moved to the next level. Therefore, you can't stop me. That's one natural response. Or you can say, you stopping me? I'm using my next level fist power to crush you and beat up on you and your lamas. So it's up to you. You see, But when you do that, you have to ask yourself, would your master approve? You understand? Okay, there's both sides of the equation. You cannot say, I want to win, but I want to please master as well. Master is always a loser. Okay, we lose. We yield. Yeah. We suffer. We cry ourselves to sleep. She's leaving me again. See that? Okay. Time is up. Thank you, everyone. This is so cool, isn't it? You know, nice that I interpreted for you in different lights, because I assure you, because of your level, the Chinese, they would not go into this kind of details. Okay? Thank you, everyone. See you next time.